What is going on? Jordan Sherwood, Wood on 1063, FatJackSports.com. Get you set for UFC 260, which is tomorrow night on pay-per-view on ESPN Plus. Heavyweight title rematch headlines the card. The greatest heavyweight champion we've ever met, Stipe Miocic, defends his championship yet again against Francis Ngannou, who gets his second opportunity at the heavyweight crown, having won 4 fights in a row, all 4 of those victories in the first round, and of course, all 4 of those victories lasting less than 3 minutes total combined. Meanwhile, Stipe Miocic has spent the last few years battling it out with Daniel Cormier in their epic trilogy fight. So when you're handicapping, when you're advising on this fight, it's about what you don't know. That basically what it comes down to it. And it's an easy take, but that's what the reality of the take is. Francis Ngannou, has he gotten better? You just have to trust what you hear or what you don't see. You have to believe that Francis Ngannou is not the same fighter when he met with Stipe Miocic several years ago. You have to believe the last 3 years of training in preparation, working on his cardio, working on his nutrition, his takedown defense, his striking, has evolved, and he is now ready for what Stipe Miocic is going to bring to the octagon on Saturday night. You haven't seen it. You haven't had a chance to see it. And what you have seen is the same Francis Ngannou that fought Stipe Miocic when he knocked out Jazier Rosenstrike, when he knocked out JDS, when he knocked out Curtis Blades. It's the same guy, winging killer punches. And because of just how powerful of a man he is, he knocks those guys out. So is it enough to believe Francis Ngannou is going to win the heavyweight championship, and it will be enough for him to stop the tactical plan that Stipe Miocic had in the first time that they fought, which was a first round run by Francis Ngannou, though you could argue that, and actually it ended up being on the judges' scorecards, a 10-9 round for Stipe Miocic when he got a late takedown, and then he controlled the rest of the fight. So that's what you have to believe. And right now that's what the odds indicate, that Francis Ngannou is still the favorite. He opened up as a heavy favorite, and you had to lay about $2.25, $2 for Francis Ngannou. It's gone all the way down to about $1.30, $1.25. And I do believe come fight night, Francis Ngannou is going to be the underdog. I think so many people have won money, including yours truly, on Stipe Miocic being the underdog, that cash is going to continue to roll in on Stipe. And why not? If he's cashing in as an underdog, he's the greatest heavyweight of all time. He's beaten, Francis before. He's taken his best shot, and he was definitely tagged in that first round. And he won the fight. So we have recommended plays on the fight winner at FatJackSports.com. We also have a recommendation on the fight total via FatJackSports.com. So you'll have to go there for that. But do you believe what you can't see? That's really the question. A co-main event, interesting one. Tyron Woodley, which one is going to show up? And he's got the narrative again going that, he's focused this time around. It's all or nothing at 38 years old. This time will be different because he's not fighting a wrestler like a Colby Covington or a Usman or a Burns. That, Vicente Luque, outstanding talent, not a wrestler. But here's the thing, like, Tyron Woodley certainly did not pull the trigger, against the aforementioned 3 fights that he's now lost in a row, and the significant strikes are severely down from when he was, maybe considered to be the greatest welterweight of all time. He's just too tentative, and if he continues to back up like he has and has done in his last 3 fights for 15 rounds, he's going to lose this fight. Vicente Luque is a huge favorite entering this fight. And why not? I mean, he's the unsung hero of the welterweight division. He's, I think, won 9 of 11, 8 of those wins coming by finish. He's an outstanding Muay Thai practitioner. He's got some slick submissions, at his game as well. But when he fights the elite, when he fights the Stephen Wonderboy Thompsons, he loses. So is Tyron Woodley in the elite conversation, the welterweight division? I probably wouldn't argue that because of how he's performed, but he does have a killer right hand. And Vicente Luque likes to get hit. So we don't have a recommended play in this fight because, look, you're not going to lay $2 confidently with Vicente Luque. Got an opinion. We'll give it right here. Vicente Luque wins this fight via TKO, and it's plus 275. So you can cash extremely well if you play that fight. You know, kind of going off the fact that you're not going to submit Tyron Woodley. Remember, he's a black belt under Dean Thomas. But Vicente Luque is a guy that will back you to the cage and step into the fire, maybe even eat a right hand from Tyron Woodley to give out a few. And I think Tyron Woodley's done. I just do. I mean, look, I like the guy. I loved it as him as champion, but he hasn't been the same fighter since Kamaru Usman. That fight for 5 rounds. So, opinion is Vicente Luque to win the fight, win it by TKO, and you can get that at some really significant plus money if you shop around. You got Sean O'Malley, Thomas Almeida. It's an interesting fight as well. I want to fade Sean O'Malley really bad. I just don't believe the hype. I think he was somewhat exposed against Marlon Vera. The wins are flashy, but they're not super overwhelming. When you're going to knock a Jose Quinones, like, okay, like, good, like Eddie Wineland, like he's long in the tooth. Like those aren't significant wins, to be the next big thing. Thomas Almeida is a recipe for him to look good again. A guy that's been 3-fight losing streak, has been finished 2 of those 3 fights. Brutal knockouts against Cody Garbrandt and Rob Font with a brutal knockout against him as well. He did go 3 rounds with Jimmy Rivera, which is impressive. But I just think the formula for disaster. Thomas Almeida will step into a firefight, and O'Malley's very precise. We'll see, though. This is now the second fight back from Thomas Almeida. He got bested by Jonathan Martinez his last time out after that corrective eye surgery to put him on the shelf for a few years. So we'll see if it's better, but it's the type of guy that Sean O'Malley beats. But we're not going to lay 330 for that. Another opinion, and you can get these also by FatJackSports.com, but you can hear it here, obviously. Fight gets finished via TKO. O'Malley, 9 of his 13 fights have been finished via TKO, and I think 19 of the 26 for Thomas Almeida have gone there. So we like those odds. That's where we're going to play. So check out that. We got a fight pick on the Miranda Maverick Jillian Robertson fight. So you can go there, FatJackSports.com. I think there's 5 plays overall that we have at FatJackSports.com for UFC 260, and the recommendations on those 2 finishes: Luque TKO finish, and O'Malley and Almeida get finished via TKO, not by submission, TKO. So make sure you're careful of that. All my plays, FatJackSports.com. Wood on 1063. You can follow me on Twitter. Shoot me a DM if you got some questions about the fights, and certainly enjoy them.